Welcome. So I've got Mr. Hudson here, the founder of Searcharoo. And today's video, we're going to be talking about niche edits specifically. So, Carl, what is a niche edit?
So a niche edit is when you go into an existing post on a website and you insert a link, maybe add a paragraph or two around it, insert a link to your website.
So do you prefer the name niche edit, link insertion, or do you call it anything else?
Based off search volume, it's called a niche edit, but I actually prefer just a link insertion or just generally outreach backlinks. But yeah, niche edit is the term.
When someone's looking to acquire a niche edit, can niche edits be toxic or are they always non-toxic?
So that very much depends on A, the website you're getting the niche edit from, and B, the toxicity score of your website and whether or not it can handle it.
So if I'm looking to start acquiring some niche edits, how much am I looking to pay for a niche edit?
So the price can really vary depending on the quality of the website. Anything from, a couple of $100 up to, I've paid as high as $3,000-$4,000.
Right, and what's the delivery times on these if I'm looking to buy a niche
Now,
edit?
this is one question that's really frustrating. So delivery time, especially for the customer point of view, can vary because obviously we're reaching out to actual site owners and the site owners could be on holiday. At the end of the day, they are human. They might be on holiday. They might have a team so they can deliver it quicker. They might be an individual. So it can just very, very much depend on the site. I'd like to say a maximum of 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay. So quite a lot of advanced SEOs say building tier 2 backlinks to guest posts are an amazing way of powering up your guest posts. But you're saying that a niche edit is on an existing page that has some sort of power. Would you ever recommend doing tier 2 backlinks to a niche edit?
So yes, primarily because it refreshes or gives it some more link juice and asks the crawler to come back. Just because you're updating the content doesn't necessarily mean the crawler's going to come back and reindex it. So obviously doing that extra vouch or getting some social signals from Signal Boy or something like that would help sort of push the crawler to come back. But then secondly, niche edits aren't always on, or they should be on, but they aren't always on posts that already have existing link and power. They might have internal links within the site, but they might not actually have external links coming into the post. So yeah.
Right, okay. So with regards to anchor text, so guest posts are obviously really, really relevant, generally speaking, types of links.
Yeah.
Niche edits less so because it's going into an existing post. So what type of anchor text should you be looking at with regards to niche edits?
So with niche edits, you can usually get away with trying to do a more of an exact match or partial match anchor. Again, be hesitant on building too many of those. But usually that's how you're going to kind of build the relevancy a little bit more.
So if I didn't want to use a link vendor to purchase niche edits, how can I go about getting niche edits myself and potentially outreach and all that? What's the process?
Start acquiring some tools, outreach tools, or just start manually outreaching and, have a database, make a database yourself, find the websites that you want to try and get links from, outreach to them. But again, the process is quite arduous. You have to then be able to negotiate with the webmaster and try to get the links for the best money that you can get. Often link vendors can get them cheaper because they often might be placing 3, 4, 5, 20 links on the same site so they can negotiate a better rate. Don't try and do the route of, I'm going to place 5 links, give me a cheaper rate, because they don't fall for that. You have to place the 5 links there and then, or pay them for the 5 links and then place.
So overall, do you feel like a niche edit is good for SEO?
A niche edit's like one of the link types, which I would say any type of link is generally good for SEO. Just again, keeping an eye on toxicity and your website's overall profile.
So with regards to, can you just kind of give an explanation of what the difference is exactly between a niche edit and a guest post?
So yeah, a niche edit is just an edit into an existing post on a website. It could be, years old, whereas a guest post is something that's newly published, which means hopefully if you've picked a good site, it should be indexed pretty organically, naturally itself. You shouldn't be having to put that through indexers. And that's the typical difference. And then a niche edit would sometimes have links going to it because it's that existing post.
So if obviously there's times where you can buy like a managed link building campaign from yourself, but if I'm not getting a managed link building campaign, when should I be looking to choose a niche edit over a guest post?
So with newer websites, I'm quite an advocate for guest posts over niche edits, primarily because the new posts, you can get them as relevant and in terms of the topic as possible. And the sites I'm building are typically on newer domains. If you're on an age domain, it could be actually really good for you to get niche edits because of the age of the posts that you're editing into. Makes sense to have a link from that post. But when it's a brand new domain, I tend to lean more towards guest posts than down the line add niche edits.
Right, okay. So with regards to niche edits and the power of the niche edits, can niche edits improve your DR in Ahrefs or your domain authority in places like Moz?
Yeah. Yeah, they can improve them. It's the same. Any type of link building can improve it. Again, it's down to how many outbound links are coming from that site or the page or the domain. How many links are actually going to that page is going to affect that sort of quality score as well. Obviously, each tool has individual quality scores.
So with regards to industries that can purchase niche edits, is there any specific industries that you think benefit from it more, or is it generally all kind of industries would benefit from niche edits?
I would say, yeah, most industries would benefit. You know, I've been involved in gambling and things like that, finance niche, like all of them seem to see movement from niche edits.
So obviously there's quite a lot of people that are talking about quality control within link vendors. How do you vet and how do you check the quality when you're placing a link insertion into a website for one of your clients? What are you doing with regards to quality control there?
So we have our own system, so we're trying to identify essentially PBNs and removing them from our list of assets. But then at the same time, you know, we very much put the onus on the client. You guys have the approval ability, so you can either approve or disapprove the links. We will, of course, advise what we believe is the best link based off the internal metrics we use. So, you know, you can be looking at ranking keywords, you can be looking at links coming into the page, you can be looking at overall domain authority or domain rank. If you're using Ahrefs, we often use Ahrefs a lot of the time, and like UR metrics as well.
So obviously there's quite a lot of different differentiator kind of metrics there that people use. And with regards to customers, do you find that some customers ask for different types of metrics from one to another?
So we try to, on every time we make almost a profile of the customer. So if you know, our first batch of links might not be up to scratch for you, but then what happens is you give us the feedback, the team adjust what filters you want, and we try and find the links that are perfect for you.
Right, so that's amazing. So what you're trying to say is on there, you've got an actual kind of customer profile. You've mentioned that you do pre-approval of backlinks, so they can decline any one of the links prior to that link being placed.
Yeah.
So obviously, if a link building agency is not doing pre-approval, presuming their links get placed, and it is, that's what you're having. So the pre-approval, you can say, I don't like this because of X, Y, and Z. That then gets added into their customer profile. Yeah. So hopefully, the second time that they order, they won't have that same, what they see as being the same issue moving forward.
Yeah.
And the customer profile might be like, what things do you find in the customer profile that someone might...
We've had such a big variance. So some people they've created their own version of what is a quality score based off the amount of external links coming to the site and the amount of links out from the site. They've created their own metric of like what scoring system. We've had that. Sites that only link out one time in a post, they want to see 2 or 3 times in a post, and they want to include an authority link in there that loads. If a site links to casino, if a site links to CBD, again, I don't know why that's a metric, but people don't like that.
So with regards to that, and obviously people have got different metrics for the niche edits, do you find that there's any type of risks that come involved with regards to someone that's coming to purchase any niche edits? Is there a risk aspect?
There's always any type of link building that comes with inherent risks, but usually the team will try to mitigate that, especially if we notice your profile is quite a new profile and on a lower end of the scale in terms of links. We would only ever recommend that you kind of going down a branded or more generic route. Because you shouldn't really be straight out the box hitting it with a exact match rank and things. That's usually exact match rankers or partial match rankers that cause penalties.
So it seems to be that obviously niche edits need to be part of your arsenal with regards to when you're looking at link building strategies. Where should I start with doing niche edits? Should I start with doing guest posts? Like where does niche edits fall into your remit? Do you start with pillow links, or do you generally kind of build a few pillow links, get some guest posts, and then move on to niche edits moving forward after
I
that?
would usually be like my last tier of links would be almost niche edits, and it would be, I'd want press release links in there. I'd want some foundational links, citations, even social bookmarking sites still have a little bit of a place because, they're building that branded anchor profile, forum links, things like this. You want all these type of links. And then, you've got your guest posts because it's a new site. You want to do some nice new guest post links, press release, launch of the site. And then down the line, you can start to look at some niche edits.
So when you're looking at niche edits, obviously there, what you're trying to say is that on the overall hierarchy of backlinking back to your site, I think it's, if I'm trying to round this up now with a summary, niche edits give a lot more power initially than what a guest post probably would. Mm-hmm. It's maybe slightly less relevant.
Yeah.
But you need it as part of the overall hierarchy of your perfect backlink profile overall. There is a degree of toxicity that might come with certain types of links, but as long as you're getting a lot of power and trust with it and your site can take that toxicity threshold, then overall it should be something that forms part of your link building strategy in 2024 or in years to come.
Yeah, definitely.
Great stuff. Well, we hope you like the roundup of whether niche edits or link insertions are a good part of whether you should be using them within your link building strategies. We're hopefully that you're consistently looking to acquire and grow online within Google, and niche edits obviously form a good part of any link building strategy that you should be doing when you're looking to have a diverse kind of link building profile.